I'm really glad to welcome all of you here on this webinar. We continue with the series of our professional webinars on the jewelry e-commerce, and every time we select some theme that we know that can help you to run your e-commerce, jewelry e-commerce more effectively. So today we have had many requests, and today we have chosen a very important theme, which might look very obvious and clear, but we see that many things also under established jewelry e-commerce players, we have some flaws in how they start, how they run their e-commerce business. So what we wanted to do, we wanted to summarize the knowledge that we see here, working with many jewelers on different stages of their e-commerce businesses, and to summarize things that are important to start your e-commerce correctly. Because once you start, you create some vector of the development, and if this beginning is not set well, we see that people struggle then to improve their performance, to get the results as it would be. Okay, so today's webinar is basically, am I ready? When I'm as a jeweler making the decision how to go online, how do I make this decision correctly? What basically do I need to prepare to create some successful e-commerce business? Not all companies are equal, and definitely there are companies that for them e-commerce business might be very good and relevant, but they are simply not ready. So we want to summarize how to start. What is the checklist? We have prepared some checklist. What is required? What should be mentioned once you decide to go online? So let's run with the things that we have thought about, and we wanted you to pay attention to. Okay, so this checklist we hopefully will help you to make sure that things that you use, things that you do, also if you're an established e-commerce player, that you don't miss things. So let's go on with this. Now, when we think of e-commerce, we consider some three legs table, we call it. Now, of course, we have the best products, best jewelry in the world. Every jeweler has to believe it, and we see a lot of beautiful items sold on the marketplace. So of course we have the great products to sell. Okay, so let's assume this is something that we will be able to provide. But to create a successful e-commerce business, we need to consider things that are not related to this. Okay, so there are three main things that we call them legs, the three legs of the e-commerce, and we will discuss each one of them. First of all, of course, is logistics, because if my item is beautiful but I am not able to send it to my clients, well, it will not be too effective for somebody waiting for your item but not being able to receive it. The second is customer service. Again, technically nothing to do with your product. You can have the best products in the world, but if you cannot help your potential buyers buy, well, they will not buy. So they will choose somebody who is able to explain them, to respond quickly, to communicate in their language. And of course, this is something. The second leg is the customer service, and something you have to consider, and we'll go through each one of them. And the third one, of course, is the technology. Well, you might be the best jeweler in the world, and you might produce the best jewelry and even on the best prices, and everything is perfect, but if you don't if you're not aware of the e-commerce technology, you simply will not be able to sell online. If you don't know how to operate Etsy, Amazon, or eBay, or Sears, Bonanza, whatever it is, if you don't know what PPC is, what CPA, cost per acquisition, what conversion is, it simply will not work. You have to consider these things too. Now, the technology, of course, it provides us a very important automation that allows us to grow further. So these three things, if we think beside the product, and we will talk about products too, but these three things besides product are very important and critical for your e-commerce. So let's start with the first thing, which is logistics. Okay, so the first and very clear thing on the logistics is that we should be able to ship things internationally. Okay, and it's not clear because if I'm a jeweler, maybe I have 5 local distributors and they do all the work for me. So first of all, we have to provide tracked shipping, which is important and which is clear, and the second, which sometimes we see that people forget, we have to get as close as possible to our client. So if I'm based in Israel or I'm based in Hong Kong, and my target auditory is somewhere in United States, it will create some problem for the buyer to buy, because people like to buy near the house. It's called home bias, and sometimes we see that the conversion of the same items placed near the factory or near the client, instead of India, the same item, if it's sold from United States, the conversion will rise in hundreds of percents. So of course it's better when we put the item close to the buyer. And here we get into some important point, that there are many things that on the country basis, on the legislation basis, on the taxation or general limitations that avoid us, especially in gold and diamonds, that we will not be able. So before you start your e-commerce, you have to think, will you be able to send your items to other countries? Maybe there is some limitation to send from Europe, especially it's relevant for gold and diamonds, from Europe, from your country, into United States, or opposite. And then how do I manage all the taxes? So all the legislation questions, all the things that come on this stage must be considered. Now, besides shipping, another thing is handling. So we have the best jewelry, and it takes us 3 weeks to prepare our product. It will be a problem. When we consider the major marketplaces like eBay or Amazon, the quick handling will be the key to success. Now, there are some special marketplaces like Etsy, for example, Dawanda or Artfire, which are more boutique oriented or handmade oriented, or even Amazon Handmade, which is handmade oriented, and of course it's much more tolerating the longer handling time. But if we go with the major marketplaces like eBay, all the 30 eBay sites, or Amazon or Sears, or Walmart, they will require you very fast shipping, and they see it as a very important part of your work. So for some part of our products, we will have to provide one-day shipping. Of course, for the diamond jewelry, it's not obvious, and of course, it's much easier for fashion jewelry, and of course for the custom jewelry, it's impossible or almost impossible. But it's something that we have to work out. We will talk about it when we speak about your products. But the handling issue, we have to be ready to send things. We'll talk a little bit about it, how we can do it in 1 day, or then most of your jewelry must be in 3 days. Now, Etsy, the 1 day, as we said, allow us to be much more longer. Now, another thing on logistics, we have to think before we start our e-commerce is the returns, because our buyers, our potential buyers, want to be calm. They have to have some understanding of how they can return the items to the seller. Now, consider the person that buys from you on eBay and from United States. The last thing that this person knows is how to send the jewelry back to Hong Kong or back to Israel, back to some other country. People normally know to send items, in the good case, only inside the country they live. So the returns, the solution for returns, it's very important. There are some vendors for this that provide logistics, provide jewelry logistics, and it's something that that you will be able to do, but it's something that you have to sort out before you start e-commerce. Now, last and not least is the fulfillment. What is basically fulfillment? When we have our jewelry, as we said, when we have our jewelry close to the client, there is much higher chance to sell it. There are many reasons that for this. As we said, I like to buy from the grocery store close to me. This is something that sits very deep inside our psychology. So the fulfillment centers, fulfillment means fulfillment centers are centers that allow you to have your jewelry, or part of it, of course, part of it, to be put close to the target audience. So if my e-commerce destination country, for example, is United States number 1, and then United Kingdom is number 2, so the question that I should ask myself before targeting this country, how can I take my products and put them in this country? Of course, if I'm a diamond jeweler, I'm not able to put 1,000 items in the United States because it's $1 million stock. But what we do in this case, we select some specific items. We will talk about it, okay? And we select some items that I know that are my quick sellers, my best performing items, and I create some solution that the best items sit close to my clients. It has a critical importance in fashion jewelry, because if I can have some item for $10 or for $20 on eBay or on Amazon or on jewelry, well, there is endless choice of jewelry, of fashion jewelry on eBay. So the product itself cannot win this war. So what we see from our experience, what we see in the fashion jewelry, the logistics is critical, and fulfillment provides you the right fulfillment. Putting the right stuff close to the buyers is a game changer. So logistics is a very important component of your online work. And it's something that has to be worked out. Now, the good thing here is that there are solutions for this, and it's something that you have to learn and do once. So the first leg is the logistics, and the second one is the customer service. Now, of course, as we say, the customer service, we not only mean the answering questions online. It's much more than this. Now, what means providing good customer service, and why is it important? When somebody gets into our store and plans to buy on eBay or Etsy or Amazon our jewelry, normally he asks about 10 different providers or sellers the same question. The customer service is not only on on after sale. It happens also on the pre-sale. Of course, for fashion jewelry, it's lower importance, plays lower importance. But for the more expensive jewelry, when somebody is going to buy a $1,000 ring or $5,000 ring, we see that in average we have 8 communications with the seller. Okay, which means if we don't provide quick, prompt answers to our buyers, so he will simply choose someone else. When buyer gets to our store, unlike our website, if we speak about eBay or Amazon or Etsy, when the buyer gets to our store, normally he has no previous knowledge of whom he is buying from. So to get the trust in the seller, to be sure that he will have a good experience with the seller, the buyer asks questions. This is his way to create some communication and to see if you are available to him with questions, with problems, to solve some issues with the delivery. There are many cases. So good customer service is also essential for your e-commerce. Now, of course, it should be English. Of course, we have to consider different time zones, because if we work with United Kingdom, it's different hours, and when we work with United States, it's 8 hours difference. So we should strive to 24/7, but of course it's not that easy. It's clear. It's something that we have to grow to. Now, the question is always how we provide a good customer service, and we will need for this some online sales operator, the trader as we call it, the person who operates your channels. Now, unlike customer service, which from our experience in 90% will be in-house, you can decide if to use external trading or in-house trading, but in any case it should be somebody dedicated to this position and not working by the way between the production or between making new designs, because I know how to use the mouse, so I will be the online sales operator, the trader. From our experience, you have to find a solution for at least half-time position to operate things in a good way. Of course, you can do something in a 1 hour a day, but both from customer service and both from technological point of view, you probably will not be able to complete all the variety of things you have to do to make things run. So again, we're not talking about creating some sporadic sales on $5,000 a month. We're talking about an established e-commerce business, and then the half-time position is at least you will have to create to operate your online stores. So these things like customer service and online trading is something that can be purchased, but another part of your work to establish your online presence is the management, the entrepreneurship, and the strategy. And well, you will have to do it yourself. And when we talk about managerial skills and strategy, there is a lot of things that we have to do on the establishment on our e-commerce, which means we have to open stores on marketplaces, we have to decide on the right vendors, we have to create the strategy how we go online, and this cannot be done by some e-commerce expert, because going online depends on your jewelry. So if you produce some unique jewelry like the crown in this picture, you will have to position your e-commerce stores differently. You will have to target different audiences that require unique designs and that who are able to pay for it. And for all this, you will have to be part of the work. So it would be wrong to think that, okay, I'm taking the customer service representative and online trader, professional online trader, and I am done. This is a very common mistake that we see. The involvement is on many different levels. First of all, online is not a standalone business. Online has to become a part of your major business. So also the resources that you can invest into your online development are not limited to the knowledge of the professional trader. So it could include pricing changes. Like, okay, I am ready now. I'm as a business, not as an online department. I am as a business ready now to provide some dumping prices to enter some new marketplace. It can be product line changes. Okay, I know that eBay is requires more classic designs. So despite I am used to provide crowns like this, some unique items, I extend my product line to some more matching designs, products, and so on, materials. About shipping, of course, if you're established jewelry business, you already have some experience and have some good agreements or previous knowledge. You're not starting from zero. So in this case, of course, we will take our previous knowledge, existing knowledge on shipping, on most effective special offers, your market knowledge, your ability to penetrate new markets. This is not something that is part of online. This is something that is more relevant to you as your jewelry business. So if one day you will decide, okay, I am going from eBay, I expand to which is a retail business. I know that my strength is in wholesale business, so I want to utilize it, and then I say, okay, I want to add the wholesale business to my online strategy. Not because of online, because I am strong there. So I take the online sales person, my online trader, and I say, okay, go to LinkedIn and find the distributors on LinkedIn or just on Google, and then send my catalogs to different distributors. This is something that you, as a strategy, as a manager, have to consider. Same about cooperations, and of course the optimal thing, our dream that we want to get there. It's not something impossible. Switching from multi-channel marketing through cross-channel marketing and to omni-channel marketing. Now, the omni-channel marketing means that your online business and offline business start to work together, that we use the online business to bring new blood, new clients, to more effectively acquire new potential buyers for our local store in New York, and then in Chicago, and so on, or in Hong Kong. So online is not a standalone business. It should become completely integrated with your existing jewelry business, and of course the flexibility is the key. Now the third leg. So we spoke about the logistic, about the customer service and other people that you have to involve. It's not only about one customer service person, but about the whole company that creates this business, all the people who are part of your team. And the third part is the technology. Now, why is the technology important here? Well, first of all, we have to know how to sell. And before we go to eBay, Amazon, Etsy, we have to understand the difference between what we sell offline where we sell the real product. My buyer stands in front of me, to selling online, the main difference is that I'm not selling the product, the real product. I'm selling the information. So the technology is critical to provide the complete information on your items. And now, why is it so important? Because the information changes all the time. For example, seasonal changes. What means seasonal changes? If I'm selling the same ring, okay, I want to position it in November. I position the same ring as the Christmas gift, and then in January I want to position the same ring as the Valentine's gift, and then in March as a mother's gift. And this means that the information has to be handled quickly, handled very effectively because of seasonal changes for the sales process. So for example, if our potential buyer asks us something about the product, right, we need to have the information on the tip of our fingers, close to us, so that we can provide it quickly, so that we can help our sales process, support our sales process with more precise information on the product, more pictures, more videos, and so on and so on. And of course also on after sale, after we have already sold the product, we have to use the technology, because the sale does not end after the buyer pays. The most interesting part begins here. We have to send him automatically the thank you letter. We have to offer him to visit our web store. We want to offer him to subscribe to our Facebook or Pinterest or Twitter account and follow the best deals. So the technology, instead of doing it manually, we want to automate all these things and to operate with the information more effectively. Now, why is this so important? We can do it all this manually. So the why is very simple. We have a large amount of selling pages on different marketplaces and on different kinds, and we want to run it as smoothly. So if we have 50 items on eBay and 20 items on Amazon Handmade and 30 items on Etsy and our Shopify web store with 20 items, this is great. First of all, this is great to have all this, and the technology will play lower role. Well, it will not be so critical, all the automation and the ability to react quickly. But if we have more solid e-commerce operation, we will need much more automation. Well, from our experience, we have clients that operate thousands and sometimes tens of thousands of SKUs, means different products online. Thanks to the technology. Well, in example of Valigara, we allow to produce a virtual inventory, which means that you can create different products based on different combinations of stone and models, which means you can create based on one real gemstone tens and sometimes hundreds and thousands of SKUs. So we have the large amount of selling pages, and of course, especially when going multi-channel and cross-channel, we have to handle the stock very accurately because of the price of the mistake is very high. eBay and Amazon and Etsy will never tolerate your inability to send some item because it's out of stock. So we have to use technology to avoid these cases. Generally, when we speak about this one very simple principle of the reusage of the data. So we have some information on our items, and it's a really huge work to concentrate all the information in the right way. And once you already have it, you want to multiply your efforts. Because to sell on eBay, you already have to digitize all your catalog. Once you have already done it, and you have all the information about the clarity and color and karat and cut and weights and dimensions and quantities, all this information is already digitized. You have done quite a work to do it. You want to reuse it, because once it's done, once you have completed this step, going to additional marketplaces is very easy. Well, we have 30 different eBays. If I started to work on ebay.com, it will be quite easy for me to expand to eBay UK, eBay Canada, or eBay Australia, because it's in English, right? So you don't have to do too much to expand there. So our idea is to reuse the existing data on your product, because this becomes your selling information. So why technology? Because we have to really integrate a lot of different services to sell online. It starts with data sources like your ERP system, enterprise resource planning system, which stores all the data about your products, and then store management, depends where you collect all the information about stock, and then shipping carriers. You don't want to print your shipping labels manually. You want to it to be automatically printed for you, and then tracking, fulfillment. Now, on every stage, from pre-sale to after-sale email marketing, you have two options: either do it manually or to involve technology to create higher conversion, to make things happen. Because if I know that it's very good on the after-sale stage to send a letter to the client saying, hello, your item is on the way. If you have your ring, right, is on the way, we expect it to arrive after 5 days. So and if you have some questions or problems, please contact us. Okay, so this is the customer service that at the end provides better experience to your client, and this is the goal. So we can do it manually, and what is the chance? Not so high that we will follow each one of the steps on the pre-sale, on the after-sale stages, or we will manually run email marketing. So to do it, we will integrate different services and run them semi-automatically, or sometimes even completely automatically. Now, when and how to use technology. From our experience, if you run 200 SKUs or more, or if you have half-time person that is dedicated to your online operation, it's very important to start introducing the automation. Make sure that you stop wasting time and stop doing the same things time after time manually, when you can simply use a robot, use a machine that will do it for you. Free your time to more important things, as we said, as planning, as a strategy, as working with humans instead of working with machines. So on this step, 20 SKUs and half-time dedicated person, from our experience, we see that that people who tried to work manually have to switch, and they switch to some more advanced technology. Now, there are many different aspects of selecting the technology. Should it be all-in-one or solution, or many small solutions? Many small solutions have their advantage because they are very simple, and you can add them and remove them. All-in-one has its very obvious solution that you don't have to integrate between all the small solutions. So as we see, normally the limitation is not in the solution itself. The limitation is in the person who operates it. And then from our experience, people we as a people are lazy, and we are not only lazy, but we are busy. And to make things run for us smoothly, from our experience, we see that all-in-one solution, even that it maybe is not the best email marketing system, not the best website management system, and not the best social marketing engine, and not the best, but it's all in one, it makes better work. Simply because we use it. Otherwise, we are too busy selecting and running between interfaces and so on. Now, there are many different things that we have to can consider if our solution should be general or specific, simple or advanced. The only thing that we have to keep in mind is that once we select the solution, we cannot select solution for 1 month. Once we start it, our learning will take time with every solution, even if it's with 3 buttons, red, blue, and yellow. In any case, we will have to learn it, we will have to invest in it, and we will create some business routine based on this solution. So switching from one business routine in every business is not easy. So we have to consider that migration from one system to another is not smooth, is not easy, it will take time. So when we choose a solution, it's much more effective if we know that this solution, okay, will be good for us for the next year or 2. Because then switching to another solution, that will take us another month, and switching and teaching all our team to work with new solution, and taking data from one place to another and adjusting it from one structure to another will pay itself out. So if we switch once in 2 years, it's okay, but not once in a month. So consider the legacy. We have very interesting experiences working with companies that have 30 years legacy in data, and this is something very, very complicated because it was started, the data storage was started 30 years ago, and then it becomes very complicated. Okay, so just to show an example of how the same data, again we speak about reusage of data to make your technical data your marketing information. So when we see when we take a look on traveling of the same data inside one system, I will give an example of Valigara because this is what we use every day. So if we take a look here, the information starts traveling from some ERP systems like Barak, Acadia, or Fantasy, or something else, and then the GIA provides some information on the integration with GIA provides the precise information on the gemstones. Once the information is ready, we send it to different marketplaces like Bonanza, Alibaba, Amazon, Etsy, eBay, and the same data is transferred automatically to the needs of the marketplaces. Okay, the same data. Once the order is complete, we have to get it back, and once it's back, we have to transfer it to the information required to send your items, both on the fulfillment services like Amazon Amazon Fulfillment, FBA, Fulfilled by Amazon, or EFS. You have to transfer the data travels into the fulfillment centers or travels to ShipStation or FedEx or Brinks or some other carrier that will send your items. Now the same data has to transform into your mail marketing and social marketing, so it's important to transfer the data to the next level on the after sale, to engage with the clients on Twitter, Google Plus, Facebook. All these things have to work as one. Well, sometimes they don't, but the idea of reusing the data is that once I have the data ready for eBay, I am 90% ready to add my Shopify store or WooCommerce, integrate my WooCommerce or Magento store. And if I'm already there, why not remind people and myself using the mail marketing? Because I already have the data. So the data online is the king. We don't sell the real items, we sell information. Okay, so until now we spoke about logistics. I know that it's a lot of information, yes, and we're trying to pick only the most important things. Now, once we have done these three things, we are ready to proceed to our products and content. Now, what we will need to start on the products and content basis. First of all, we need the jewelry catalog. Well, that's clear, right? What we consider here, the jewelry catalog, maybe most important here is that it must be consistent and renewable stock, meaning it's very well, it takes a lot. Well, I would say no, but I don't want to discourage people that work with unique items, but one-of-a-kind jewelry is very problematic or longer to develop online. Okay, so working with the same items will be much easier. So the renewable stock is very important. Why is that? Because what we sell online, we sell information. So part of information is, did this product sell before? If it was sold before 20 times and I'm as a buyer see positive feedbacks on it, of course I will like buying it again. But if it's one-of-a-kind jewelry, we cannot create the history of the items, of our items. So it will be much longer for us to develop the community that will be ready to be the pioneers and to buy some items that nobody else has. Now, one-of-a-kind jewelry has an additional disadvantage. Well, we have to photograph it every time. Every time for every sale we have to photograph, which is not simple. So diversified jewelry catalog, from our experience, a normal store can consider 50 designs, 100 designs, not more than this, and then different variations of the same design can create a very variated catalog. Not more than this, not more than. To start, we always recommend to start with 20 or 30 design. Why not 100? Because it's a lot of work to prepare all this for sale, and because you want to get some feedback from the external marketplaces, from your online buyers, and see what audience works best for you. So you start on eBay, Amazon and Etsy, and you see that Etsy operates best for you. Okay, let's see what Etsy audience likes, and additional 20-30 designs that we prefer is already matched to Etsy needs. So this is about the amount of designs, and then the next step, we very much recommend having promotional items. These promotional items, even if you have a diamond jewelry store, it's very good to have these promotion items just to start your store, to create some history of your store. So if I have a new store and I have 0 sales in it, well, it's a problem. Well, buyers will not run to me to buy as a store, not as a product. The product might be beautiful, but I'm as a store not ready. So these promotion items in different low price ranges allow me to create this history of sales. Let's say 100 first sales on Amazon. It's much easier to do it with lower price items. We call them quick sellers. Okay, so these promotion items are very important. It's not such an investment because we are talking about 5 to 10 different promotion items. So we buy 10 different items 10 pieces of each one, and each one is $20, so it's $2,000 investment, and it's something that can be easily sourced on sites like Alibaba, AliExpress, not even my items, or I do create my items as promotional items. So in addition to creating this catalog, we really need to provide full specification, because this is what we sell. We don't sell the product, we sell the specifications, the information. So it must be full technical information on your items, all information about your stock, full information about the pricing, of course. It's not something that is problematic, but something that has to be prepared before you start. Now, all the gemological certificates or everything that helps our buyer to understand better what is the real value of an item. So the full specification is critical, and of course additional part of this specification is the photography and video. Now for e-commerce we recommend at least 5 different photos, high resolution, of course provide the best information, the full information on your product, so that the buyer has a chance to create the 3D image in his head from your images. The packaging photo is very important, because again we have to create some image in the head of our buyer, how he receives the item, how he gives this ring or bracelet or earrings as a present. So the packaging photography is very important, and of course in the show the proportions. I mean, how does the ring look on our finger? How does the necklace look on our body? And the earrings on the ear, it helps to avoid returns. It helps to avoid very unpleasant moments with our potential buyers who receive the item and it comes out that it's smaller than they planned, that they thought, or bigger. So it's very important. Now, of course, video. Once we prepare the photography, today making video, even if we make a very simple video with our mobile phone, it's better than not to have it at all. And even if we have $5,000 item, it's better to have the video made with our cellular phone than just leave it without. Okay, now additional things that you will have to prepare is the marketing information, the about us, the inspiration photos, your people, because business is personal. So people want to know, our buyers want to know whom they're buying from. So it's very important to have the photos of the photography of company offices, of people who work on production process. So this is according products and content. Nothing that is impossible. It's not rocket science, but it's something that has to be done. So we are ready. As we spoke about the table. So we prepared the table, logistics, customer service, and we put the right technology to work to save costs and so on. And we have put our catalog on the top of it. So it's ready. We are ready to sell. And the last thing, just small thing to discuss, is of course the budgeting. What means budgeting? We have to be ready to invest. And how do we invest into going online? Because things are not free online. So from our experience, we have to prepare at least $200–300 monthly budget. Okay, for each channel we want to onboard. So if we start with eBay, with Amazon, with Etsy, each one will take some promotional budget for it. Okay. In addition, every channel needs to be set up one time. So from our experience, again, we see different scenarios. Of course, it's better to start with a $50,000 budget, but even if we provide some small one-time budget per channel, which allow us, for example, dumping prices. So if I have a $100 items, I decide to sell them at $80 or $70. So this one-time budget will help me to boost my store very much quicker, and so save the time, and time is of course money. And now we can also, one of the things that work very well on establishing each one of the marketplaces is taking part of your existing client base and moving it to online. So for example, I have an established store in the middle of New York, and I decide that I'm going eBay. Okay, so I can offer to my existing client base some special promotion, and of course I have to set some budget for this, some special promotion for buying on my eBay store instead of the physical store. I have to reduce my existing client base, and I provide a special budget for this, something to be considered, to set up, so that they can help, so they will help me to boost the beginning. Now, all the time we're talking about the beginning, about the farming of our accounts. Now, from our from what we see with working with tens and maybe hundreds of jewelers all the time, it's not about 1 month, it's not about 2 months, it's something that you have to give it half a year, 6 months. So when you're budgeting your stores, your online campaign, take into account that, as we say, the sales that you receive in the first half year of operation, it's a bonus. Yes, you will get some sale, but you cannot count on it once you prepare your business plan, your budgeting for going online. Now, another budget that you have to set is the professional service. Well, this is something that very much depends on your business. Maybe you already have the ERP system. Maybe you already have all the customer service inside, so you don't have to allocate money for this. It depends on your business, but it's something that you have to take into account. Normally, this is the most sufficient paragraph, the professional services, the people that work for this, the technology that you acquire, and most important, the half a year that you have to put in mind. So this farming, as we know in the agriculture, we have to prepare the earth, right? The field. So this farming takes half a year, and you have to be mentally and money-wise be prepared to it. So I don't want to make things, I hope these things were not too complicated. They're quite obvious, but important on the same time, and I hope it helps you to make better decisions. Just as a summary, the understanding is very simple. Going online is some strategical solution. It's not about, okay, let's try for 3 months. It has to become part of your business. And of course, you have to set goals for the first month, first 3 months, first half a year, but also 1 year, 2 year, and 3 years. Okay, so that in every business, when we plan our business, we have short-term goals, and long-term goals. So it's important to see going online as a strategical solution. No rocket science here, and we definitely, to complete this webinar, we're definitely talking about disrupting technology. Not many people know that currently the e-commerce is only 7% of the total global economy. So, and it's planned to be 20% in the before the 2020. So the e-commerce will triple in the next 3 years. So when we think that eBay and Amazon and Etsy are not must have, or my website or the social or eBay email marketing, well, one day I will be there. I will allow myself to doubt, and we're going to triple the e-commerce, and it's not too crowded as sometimes people say, because we're just in the beginning, and in the next 3 years it will become even stronger. So remember the Google glasses and Amazon virtual reality and eBay virtual, they are not doing it for fun. Once the virtual reality becomes stronger, the technology develops there, the purchasing of jewelry, especially jewelry and fashion, will be influenced. It's not like buying an iPhone, because iPhone today, I know exactly what I'm going to get. But once the technology, including the 3D and including the virtual reality or augmented reality, gets there, we will see a very strong boost in selling jewelry online. And we really wish you to be a part of it, of course, and we'll be glad to help. So I want to thank you all for your time, for investing into the understanding of jewelry e-commerce. I really hope it was helpful for you, and of course feel free to contact us with all questions. And I really glad to invite you to our LinkedIn group, Diamond and Jewelry and Diamond e-commerce, that we run with hundreds of jewelers there. And now we're starting the same group on Facebook. We do not allow no promotion there. It's very professional groups, and we maintain it on a very high level. So really welcome to follow, where we follow all the major jewelry e-commerce trends and marketplaces updates like eBay, Etsy, Amazon, Bonanza, and additional ones. So feel free to be in touch with us. I see that Anton has already sent the link to LinkedIn group for jewelers and his email. So you're welcome with all questions. Thank you.